better than Lonzo?
I don't know if he's better, but I would take him because of his upside, Skip. He can score the ball a lot better than his other brother can, and he makes it look easy. The way his ability to drive and finish at the rim, his three-point shooting, although Lonzo has gotten vastly better at shooting the three, LaMelo looks like a better shooter, a pure shooter of the two brothers. He looks like he's a little taller, Skip, and although he doesn't guard as well, he plays passing lanes. His anticipation is a lot better than Lonzo. So for me, if you said, okay, Shannon, you get one brother right now, I would take Melo. I would take Melo right now because I believe of his upside. Skip, since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, he's averaging 20 points a game. So he's going to be a starter for the very foreseeable future. And would I be surprised to see him as a 25, 7-7 guy? I would not. He's better earlier than I think people thought he would be. Because Skip, you heard he was projected because have easily been the #1 pick. And people are like, yeah, over time. But he's better much sooner than people thought he would be. I would take him right now over Lonzo, and I believe he will be the better of the two players.
I mean, you said 25, 7-7. Shannon, I'm thinking more like 25, 10-10. I mean, this kid
he might could, Skip.
This kid is gifted beyond gifted. And I got to credit our man, LeVar Ball. He sat right here next to me 3 years ago. And after we finished the show, we were just BSing about whatever. And we started talking about LaMelo, who was then very young, obviously. And he just flat out said, my youngest will be the best. And at that point, I thought Lonzo was going to be really good. And he's turning into a really good player. But he ain't this kid. Shannon, since Charlotte had to elevate LaMelo into the starting lineup, look at these numbers. He's played 14 games as a starter in Charlotte. He's 21, 6-7, and he's 19 years old. He's doing it effortlessly with a smile on his face, like he's almost toying with the game. It's like, you guys want me to play? If you want me to play, I'll show you. I can do this. And look what he's doing. He's making 43% of his threes since he became a starter and 86% of his free throws. He's a little better shooter than Alonzo, who has completely fixed his shot. Lonzo is now taking and making threes with authority and conviction, fearlessly. And I didn't think he'd ever be able to get away from this and bring it back to here where he could trust it. Now he trusts it because he's, you know, as you know, he's all the way up to 40% from three for the year. Well, that'll work. He's turned into a real live grown-up NBA player. I just like the way he looks. His body's matured. His face is matured. He just looks like a professional basketball player. And I love his upside and his future. But his little brother, and by the way, I think Lonzo is being motivated by his little brother's success. I think they're starting to compete with each other long distance. And you know how that would feel with your big brother competing, you know, you competing against him. But my God.
I agree with you. I think Lonzo is a better defender, but I don't believe Lonzo, even at his best, will have the offensive upside as this kid has.
No, he won't.
And you know, in the NBA, it's still an offensive league. They've made it. They've opened the court up. They've done away with the hand checking, the hard fouls, and so they want to see people put the ball in the basket. And I don't know if Lonzo can put the ball in the basket like his baby brother can.
No.
So with that being said, I'm going to take Melo upside. At 19, like you said, Skip, he's 19.
19. And Shannon, I thought Lonzo's strongest attribute in his rookie year was his ability to shut you down on defense because he's about 6'6", he's long, and he's savvy and nasty on defense. But this year under Stan Van, he just, I don't know, it's an afterthought. It's like he's quitting on defense. And meanwhile, his little brother, who I thought was playing little to no defense early on, I looked down last night, he's 4th in the NBA in deflections, to your point about just having that gift of seeing it and disrupting it before you throw it, that sort of Ed Reed gift, if you will. He's also 8th in the league in loose balls recovered. Well, that means He's playing his tail off on defense because if you're going for loose balls, then you have to be playing hard. He doesn't look like he's playing hard because he's always got a big smile on his face. Lonzo never has a smile on his face, and the little brother is just having a ball playing basketball as a ball in the NBA.
I think the thing is also, Skip, his flair. He has pizzazz.
He does.
Lonzo is very matter of fact.
He is.
But if you look at Melo, the passes that he makes, he's this, and he's underhand flipping it. The relationship that he has with Mikal Bridges on the lobs.
He does.
They call it Airbnb. So for me, I was like, how good is he going to really be? I mean, because the guy hadn't really played a whole lot of organized ball, Skip, really since, he went to Lithuania, and then he went to this boarding school in Ohio, and he over in Australia.
Yep.
I was like, Skip, he the real deal. He the real deal.
He's going to be an all-star. That's what he's going to be.
It's wild, too, Skip, because I remember when LeVar said that to you in the commercial break. And he said some crazy things, LeVar, but he has been right about LaMelo right now, guys. How about Luka, though? Did he prove he's actually the most popular NBA player? We'll give you the details on an interesting story here next.
No mercy, no mercy.
Do you agree here?
I 100%. I 100% agree. I 1,000% agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Skip, he's playing really well. Skip, even though AD has missed a third of the season, LeBron has really held it down defensively, and I think a lot of that has to do. Now, Skip, I'm not saying they're a better defensive team without Anthony Davis, because clearly they're not. But I think it forces guys to lock in more because they don't have that protection. They don't have that cloak that's draped around them that's going to meet somebody at the rim, that's going to alter the shot. So now we have to lock in even more. We have to be really attentive. Our film study has to be spot on, Skip, because I don't think anybody's practicing right now because of COVID protocols. Basically, you're watching film, and then you're going out there and play. Your practice time is the first quarter when you're trying to feel out your opponent. But Skip, he's been very, very good, Skip. He's #1 in defensive win shares. He's #1 in defensive rating among players that's played at least 30 minutes per game. Skip, he's as good as advertised. He's as good as we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years. And we saw what he did on Friday night against Portland, where he had the four steals and the 3 blocks, and then he followed it up with 2 and 2 on Sunday night, Skip. He's playing can he sit in the chair like he did early in his career? Nah, that's not what he is now. He's not going to do that. And we don't expect him to do it at 36, carrying the offensive load that he carries. But what he will do is that he will anticipate and pull an Ed Reed on you. He will chase you down. And then we saw the other night on Wiseman, he said, hey, meet me at the top. I got to talk to you. Wiseman tried it. You like James Wiseman. Did the same thing he did to him and your guy from San Antonio when he blocked it. You talk about he couldn't jump. Yeah, we meet you at the summit. How high you going, Wiseman? That's how high you can go? Okay. Go. Get it out of here. Tiago Splitter, that's who he blocked.
Oh.
Tiago Splitter.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about Jakob Poeltl.
We been did him, man.
This is a very difficult topic for me because I have a confession to make.
What is it? What is it? I want to hear.
Last night, when this topic reared its ugly head, thanks to Kyle Kuzma, I thought, well, I'll check on individual defensive win shares that you just mentioned. And I was shocked. I was shocked. I fell out of my chair to find LeBron James is ranked #1 in the NBA in defensive win shares. That's impossibly good. It's great. It should have been a part of your argument yesterday when we were talking about LeBron's MVP case, which I thought had taken a huge hit without AD over this 9-game stretch into the All-Star break, in which we said he could make or break his MVP case. And he got off to a 1-4 start. You lost 5 more cases of Diet Dew to me. I am rolling in 2021. I have a whole swimming pool full of Diet Dew. Yeah.
What about Schroeder not playing? Shouldn't I get a mulligan for Schroeder not playing?
Them's the breaks. And if he is the best player on the planet, it should have been, it wouldn't matter whether it's Schroeder or Footer or Luter, or it doesn't matter who it is who's not playing for you, because you still had KCP and THT and all these other players that you've raved about, Markieff Morris. You got enough players that if he's that good, he should have gotten through this stretch without Schroeder. But the point is that I had no idea he was ranked that high defensively. And by the way, for those who don't follow this, the top 5 is LeBron and then Gobert. What's he, at least a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's second.
Yeah, it looked like he's going to be 3 times.
Maybe. And third and fourth on the list are New York Knicks named Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett, because the